They come in their thousands, fleeing a conflict that has been ongoing since September last year between rebels and the Khartoum government in the Blue Nile region of Sudan. These men, women and children have been running for dear life, some having walked for months with nothing but their clothes on their backs as they escape the war back home. Today their journey might have come to an end, at least for now.
These refugees you see behind me have just come to the Yusuf Batil refugee camp in the Upper Nile region of South Sudan. The camp is the newest of 3 refugee camps here. It has the capacity to handle between 30 and 35,000 refugees coming across the border from Sudan. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, says they're having to move people from transit sites further north to this camp for fear of their security and, more pressing, lack of water.
It's a race against time. These refugees are part of a group of 32,000 who are transported from a transit area called Kilo 18 further north. The area has only about 2 weeks worth of water remaining, forcing UNHCR to move these refugees at a rate of 2,000 to 3,000 per day. Almasi Adab has been on the move with his pregnant wife and 4 children since his village was attacked. He does not know where his father is, and he ran with his children and left everything else behind. They had to walk for about a month and eventually crossed into South Sudan. Although he does not know where he is thankful that he will at least get shelter for his family and something to eat and drink.
وجعانين وتعبانين في الشارع يعني حاجة بناكلوا ذاته ما في حكاية بتاع شهر غايته تعبانين لحد ما وصلنا الحمد لله.
It's the same story you hear from all the refugees here, a tale of suffering.
الفقد ناس كتار هنا هسي يعني هنا بس شيء خلانا نجوا هنا ده مشكلة العطش والجوع والمرض للأطفال خلانا نجوا جارين هنا ده يعني الفقد ناس كتار.
With the influx of more refugees than anticipated, the situation is rapidly developing into a full-blown crisis as the refugee camps get filled and the humanitarian agencies struggle to provide basic needs like food, water, shelter, and medical care. In Upper Nile alone, 75,000 refugees were expected as a result of the conflict, but already there are 105,000 in the camps, and another 15,000 could cross the border in the coming days. Fred Kusai, the head of UNHCR in the area, says that they're doing all they can for the refugees, but the situation is far from perfect. As water supplies run out, the influx of new refugees is putting a strain on the little resources available.
We have to admit it's not a state-of-the-art relocation, it's really a bit of an evacuation. Let's put it as it is. But for us it's key to move people as soon as possible because the conditions are not good where they are.
Many of the refugees here say the lack of water and food has contributed to the deaths of many others as they escaped the fighting. Médecins Sans Frontières, MSF, says they witnessed some of the weakest dying as they walked, too dehydrated for even the most urgent medical care to save them. At Yusuf Batil, the search for safe drinking water is ongoing. So far 3 boreholes have been successful, with the hope to sustain some 20,000 refugees with enough drinking water, at least between 10 to 15 liters a day.
المشي بتاع الشارع ده يا المويه قطعة مننا مرة نلقى مرة ما نلقى نتم حكاية بتاع ساعتين ماشيين بالعطش 3 ساعات 4 ساعات ما شاربين نحصلوا نلقى لنا مويه في المياه نشربه بس كان كده بس لو لقينا العطش معنا بنشربه ما بينا عشان نخلو بينا المويه بس كان طبعا العطش ده معنا.
For Almasi and his family, as well as the thousands here, these tents are what they will call home. With the strained resources, 500 people will have to share 12 tents, with the pregnant women, children, and those vulnerable getting priority. Although it's not ideal, the refugees say it's far better than what they've had to endure. With the onset of the rains, UNHCR estimates that the cost of meeting the immediate needs of the refugees will be about $40 million. An emergency appeal to raise $111 million in funds for South Sudan has so far only raised $34 million, which has already been spent. The new nation of South Sudan has been playing host to thousands of refugees from the north, as well as thousands of its own South Sudanese returnees who left Khartoum after the South separated from the North and became an independent nation on the 9th of July 2011.